Hello everyone and welcome to this new webinar session. Today we are going to introduce our Masters in Hospitality, Entrepreneurship and Innovation. So we have a couple of guest speakers on the line today. I will start with the presentation. So we have Marie-France, our Program Director. Hello Marie-France, how are you?
Hello, fine. So thank you, Laurie. So my name is Marie-France. So first of all, good afternoon, everyone. So I'm pleased to be here with you. I'm pleased to talk about this incredible master, and I will introduce briefly myself. So I joined Glion 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago right now. And previously, I have a 16 years experience in level graduate teaching. I'm also program director for a business school in France, and I work in Beijing in China. I work in Berlin, Germany. I work in Morocco, Casablanca, and Marrakesh, and I work also in France. And now I'm so happy to be in Switzerland. So I have an extensive experience in academics, but also I'm still a consultant. And my field and my expertise is about business development, innovation, entrepreneurship, and sales as well.
Thank you, Marie-France. We also have two students on the line with us today, students almost alumni. So let's start with Nikolai. Hello, Nikolai. Can you introduce yourself very briefly?
Hello, good afternoon to everyone. My name is Nikolai, and it's a pleasure to be here. I come from Bulgaria originally, and I graduated just over a month ago, basically, so I'm quite fresh out. I've had about 6 years of experience in the hospitality industry just before I did my master's degree with Marie-France, and currently today I hold the job of a F&B supervisor in one of the Kempinski hotels in Europe. I'm also doing an entrepreneurship project with my colleague Shahab, who is also on the line, but we'll tell you a little bit more about this later. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikolai. So let's move on to Shahab. Welcome, Shahab.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shahab. My nationality is Iranian. I joined Glion in 2020 for the Master of Entrepreneurship. And currently I'm working at Food Detective, which is a Swiss tech startup. And as Nikolai said, we're both also working at the same time on a few entrepreneurship projects and currently looking for the investment project phase. And it is a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Shahab. Last but not least, Jacquie Lutz, our head and career internship. Hello, Jacquie.
Hi, Laurie. Thank you for the introduction, and hello, everyone. Lovely to be here with you, and I'm looking forward to having this webinar and sharing all this information with you guys.
Thank you, Jacquie. So before I hand over to Marie-France, we will start with a presentation. In second part, Jacquie will talk about career and internship. We'll start with Marie-France and the program. You can ask as many questions as you want during the presentation, and we will answer all of them at the end. So don't panic if we don't answer your questions straight away. We will get to it at the end of this presentation. You can find the question box at the top of your screen. You are not able to use your microphone today. Okay, so I will now hand over to Marie-France to introduce the program.
Okay, thank you, Laurie, thank you, Jacquie, thank you guys. I'm so happy to be with you. This is pretty much the most important slide. Why doing a master degree? Why it's so important doing a master degree? A bachelor degree could help you to be very knowledgeable about operation. A bachelor degree, the purpose is how to operate, which is crucial because if a company cannot operate, they cannot survive and they cannot stay alive. But now the thing is you are on the tipping point, and which is crucial is how to manage. So that's what you can learn in a master degree, and especially in this master. How can you manage? What kind of skills do you need to get in order to be a good leader? And especially because now we are in a shifting era. Everything is disruptive. Everything is changing a lot. And even a leader 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, a leader was someone who knows more than you, who has more expertise, who are more experience, who are more knowledge. than you. It was your leader, it was your boss, it was your coach. But today, a leader is someone that can help you to find this knowledge, to help you how to use this knowledge. So everything is changing. And in this master, you will learn more about how you can be a leader. Another point, which is absolutely crucial, and please, I would like to draw your attention. You have to be multi-talent. You need to know more than one job. That's what you can learn in a master degree, and especially in a master dedicated about innovation. You need to be multi-talent, meaning you need to be flexible, meaning you need to be knowledgeable in revenue management, in digitalization, but also in growth hacking. You need to know more about data. Data, it's absolutely crucial. If you don't have data about your customer, you cannot design, you cannot collect, you cannot gather information about your customer, you cannot have insight. And having insight about your customer, you can anticipate their needs. You can anticipate new behavior, especially with the COVID crisis or any crisis. And with new needs, new behavior, new insight, you are ready to create new offer, to rethink the guest journey, to be able to create new activities with new business model, and you can generate new revenues for your business. Another point, which is absolutely crucial, this is why this slide is probably the most important one. You guys, you need to know right now that everything is disruption and innovation. Look what's happened with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is growing exponentially. Look, you know what about NFT? It's non-fungible token. So art, luxury is moving online, is moving on digital. Now you can buy a picture online for $10,000 million. Now you can find a new finance with blockchain, for instance. So there is a new economy, and you need to know if you want to be in or if you want to be out. This is why it's so important doing a master degree, and especially in innovation. So now I will tell you what the purpose of the master. The purpose is a master is not what you will get from this master. Honestly, this is not at all important. It's who will you become after the master? What professional would like to become and who will become after the master? So that's a very important point. And the last thing, this master will help you to catch up, to take new opportunities, new job doesn't exist today. So in the near future, it will be new things, new model, new jobs, new opportunities. And nobody knows about these new opportunities. Even our genius Jacquie. Even Jacquie, she doesn't know anything about the new job in 1 year to the, isn't it, Jacquie?
Well, so, I have this crystal ball, but it's not working, right?
No, sure. So you guys, it's tremendously important doing a master degree for your future, for your career, and to be able to be in and not to be completely outdated. I would like to let you know about what doing a master, it's disrupted or being disrupted. So Laurie, if you can move to the next slide, please. So what about the goal of the master? As I mentioned, this master, first of all, you have to understand it's not only dedicated about hospitality operation, but also hospitality innovation. You are ready to build the hospitality of tomorrow, to rethink the guest journey, and with a new service approach, with a new delivery, thanks to data, thanks to digitalization, you will be able to create new business model, new activities, because now the guest experience, they don't start anymore when your guests arrive in the front office. The guest experience starts with a website. The guest experience starts online. And you guys, you need to be ready to get in touch with your customer online and of course in face-to-face. So human touch is, of course, still very important, but you need to reach your customer, omni-channel marketing, omni-channel strategy. Hospitality is becoming a platform. Hospitality is becoming a hub. So look, what's happened with the crisis? I mean, restaurants, they innovate, they move, and because they were closed, they decided to move to catering, to delivery food, to be visible on social media, to put a receipt. Even very famous and highly recognized Michelin star chef, they put some receipt on Instagram. Food is topic number 2 on Instagram, so it's not a teeny thing. It's reality. So guys, you need to be able to do that. Hospitality should be more digitalized. Hospitality should be more connected, and hospitality should be more sustainable. So this master is really hands-on, and this is what exactly you will learn. In hotel industry, if we take the example of hotel industry now, you can find different communities at different time of the day. So the morning, you can find traveler at the breakfast, and then as of 9 or 10 a.m., sorry, you can find another community that could be co-workers, because there are plenty of hotels in downtown cities, in capitals everywhere in Europe and everywhere in the world. They are transforming 10%, 15%, 20% of the room in co-working space. And co-working space is becoming like Bitcoin is becoming growing a lot. Why? Because it's the DNA of hospitality. When people are looking for co-working, they are not looking just for colorful sofa with beer machine for free or coffee machine for free. They are looking for socialization, for networking, for excellence of service. And this is our DNA in hospitality, to provide you excellence of service and detail and socialization and human touch. So you can find traveler, you can find co-worker, but again, it's tremendously important to diversify your core customer. When you are a very premium or luxury hotel and your core target customer are only foreigners, what are you doing now? What are you doing now? Because the borders are closed and foreigners are not allowed to come anymore. So now you have to innovate in under pressure, urgently, because you need to attract local people. They don't know you, and you need to change drastically your business model. So guys, you need to be ready to innovate and to prepare different business model with different revenue stream to generate different opportunity to make money. That's absolutely crucial. So the key word also in this master could be, of course, innovation, but could be hybridization. It's hybrid model, business model, where you can find different activities, different communities, and everything is becoming a little bit more complex, but also it's a bit more challenging and it's a bit more passionating. So briefly in this master, bear in your mind, first, this master is not only hospitality operation, but how you can rethink the new offer, new approach, and new delivery. Second, what you have to bear in your mind, this is a master dedicated with teaching with visiting lectures. And also you have block teaching, but I will go deeper on that point in the next slide. Please, Laurie. Thank you. Okay, so that's the design of the master. You can start with practical arts. I strongly advise to apply for the hospitality immersion program if you are a career switcher. In this master in innovation, we have a lot of students or professionals coming and apply for this master, and they are coming from They have a bachelor degree in IT, in physics, in biology, in literature, in politics, in everything. So if you are a career switcher, I strongly advise you to apply for hospitality immersion program when you can learn more about practical arts, which is a base and fundamental. Then we have 3 semesters. So semester 1, semester 2, and semester 3. So semester 1, I will go deeper in a few seconds and to let you know what kind of content and detail for semester 2. So semester 1 and semester 2, it will be the taught part module with different teaching and with visiting lectures. You have both academics and visiting lectures. Visiting lectures, I will send you a sample of experts. You will be happy to learn from them. And of course, it will be a huge opportunity for you to increase your network, your professional network, thanks to them. So, and then semester 3, once you validate your taught part module, you need to move to semester 3, and it will be internship, or it will be project research, business research project, what we can call thesis, master thesis. But also you can join your family business, but also you can create your company and you can create your startup, because the master, it's the main goal to help you to create a new project for you. So it's 1.5 years, and then I will go deeper. I will move in detail. So if you want to, okay. So semester 1, as you can see, the first module are dedicated about industry complexity. It's hospitality. Try to know how hospitality is becoming fragmented. You have different parts of hospitality, and you need to innovate in food and beverage, in operation, but also in the different way of hospitality. You can find service apartment. You have new players, such as OTA, such as Airbnb. You probably, you never know, but there is a new Airbnb and the company called Sander, and they are based in California, and they are still valorized more than $1 billion. And this is a digital hotel. It's pretty much the same business model like Airbnb, but their owner, and it's kind of real estate as well, their owner all the property. Sander, it was the only hotel in California stay open during the pandemic and during the crisis. So again, semester 1 at the beginning, we'll start with hospitality. Then after we will move to creativity. So as you can see, the module of creativity. So which is extremely important is to be able to create product, service, offer that people want. So you need to have a disruptive idea, but that's not enough. Having a good idea, having a genius idea, everybody can do that, especially when you sleep badly. So everybody can do that. You need to know, once you have a great idea, if your idea solves a problem and who has this problem, and if they are ready to pay to solve their problem and to buy your product, of course. So you need to create a good idea. You need to find your market. You need to be ready to evaluate your market size. And then that's the design thinking module. And then you have to be able to create your business model. Your business model is how you will make money. What about your revenue streams? And then you will move forward about governance, compliance, and strategy. If you have a good idea, if you have a good market size, if you have a good value proposition, if you have a good business model, you must have an appropriate, smart, and relevant strategy. If you don't have any strategy, you will go directly to the bankrupt. And finally, it will be partnership, and it will be IP, intellectual property. You need to protect your brand. You need to protect your business. So you need to know a little bit about intellectual property. That's the first semester. You will learn how to create new product, new offer, new service that people want, and you will be able to know better your customer. Semester 2, of course, is the most important. It's about execution. How will you bring your idea to the market? How will you make money? How will you hire people? How will you make your business into a company? So it will be about branding, marketing. It will be about project life cycle for a new business launch. You need to know more about your core target. Who are your customer, your main customer, your close customer. You need to know more about sales. How would you like to sell your product? It's a licensing, it's a franchising. So you need to know your strategy. You need to know about revenue management. You need to know more about digital technology. What about virtual reality? Would you like to integrate blockchain? Intelligence artificial, is it for you or not for you right now? And so on and so on. You need to know how to create a website. You need to know how to create an app. That's becoming mandatory, because if you don't have this kind of tool, the customer, your data customer, will go one more time to OTA, booking.com, and so on and so on. And you won't be able to know better to anticipate the needs of your customer. And the last part will be about cross-hacking and digitalization, but also fundraising, how you can leverage money. Merger acquisition, you have, like Nick and Shahab, imagine your startup is successful and you need to expand your business. So how would you like to expand your business? It's, should you buy your competitor? Should you deal a joint venture with your competitor? Should you start from scratch another property? What will be the best strategy for you to expand? And another very important course, it's family business and social entrepreneurship, sustainability. We deal with an NGO in Paris dedicated about social entrepreneurship in hospitality, and we can have absolutely incredible live business case with them. So that's basically the content of the Master in Innovation. You have, as I mentioned, semester 3, 6 months internship, or a BRP, business research project. Of course, I can talk for many minutes, but I need to let time to Jacquie and my other colleagues. So maybe we can go to the next slide briefly. So it will be a sample of teachers who are visiting lectures. So guys, it was your teacher. Would you like to say a couple of words, or should I continue?
Yeah, I can speak for a little bit if you want to take a rest.
Okay, Nick.
Wow, you just explaining the whole program. You just brought so many memories. I wanna be back studying everything. I can talk a little bit about the people on the screen, especially Alexander, Davin, and hello. I had the pleasure of meeting both of them in my first semester, which was very important for me. With Alex, who's a serial entrepreneur coming from Munich, we studied about design thinking and about startup creation processes, which is techniques that I'm currently using, which I have.
Oops. Hello.
We lost Nicolas.
Yeah. Okay. I can start. Maybe Shahab, you will say some word about Johan. Which is... Nick, we lost you. As that's happened when it's not recorded, it's live, it's human touch, and we need to manage this kind of obstacle. Okay, never mind. Johan, maybe Shahab, would you like to say something about Johan, or I can continue on my...
Absolutely. Johan was actually part of the amazing field trip that we had with Marie-France during even the Corona. We managed to have this great field trip to actually learn and go to these different companies and see what the real entrepreneurship life is. And Johan was the director of sales and marketing for Ritz-Carlton in Geneva. And he actually showed us what it means to be an entrepreneur in a company when you're in a bad situation and have to come up with new ideas to attract local customers in hard times. And the other teacher that was actually very interesting class was Paolo, which is Italian, and he's currently living in Dubai. And one of the things that was very interesting about his class was that a lot of times you've seen people that they say somebody's working in a family business and you think that it may not be hard for them that they got the job, or the job may not be hard because it's family. But he really showed us what it means and the problems that you face once you start working in a family business. And it can be a lot harder once you go through the process of working with people that you have to see every day and you have family connections and emotional connections with. And the classes truly taught us a lot of things.
Okay, thank you. Okay, briefly, I would like to come back about Johan. So Johan is a Ritz-Carlton sales director, business sales and marketing director. But in that course, it's tremendously important, guys. You have to understand that the governance course is the teacher for governance, compliance, and strategy. But this is exactly what I want for you in this master. You can learn traditional governance. I mean traditional for governance for classical business in hospitality. You have a real estate player who is the owner of the hotel most of the time. And then you have a third-party operator, and third-party operator could be Groupe Accor, could be a Marriott, Intercontinental, and so on. But I want you guys, you will be very well prepared for startup. And also in this course, you can learn OKR, Objective Key Results. This governance has been created by Google in Silicon Valley. And all startups around the world, their governance are made based on OKR. So you will learn the both world, traditional hospitality governance, but also governance for startups. That's exactly the DNA of the master. And of course, afterwards, and Shahab will explain, I will go briefly because I took too much time. You can work either in food detective app startup, or you can work as Nick in Kempinski, which is a traditional hospitality. So Olivia, briefly, Olivia is a business leader in an incubator, and she is in charge about fundraising. She is alumni from Glion. And Stanislas, working for Airbnb for many years, and then he moved to Groupe Accor. And he is a head supply of One Fine Stay, which is a kind of competitor of luxury retail. It's about a rental platform, luxury rental platform, and very, very appealing at that time because a family, they would like to stay together like a cluster. So a lot of people are considering the vacation or holidays with their family to rent a villa and to rent a house just for themselves. It's safer, and they could be just with their family. Maybe we can move to the next slide, Laurie. I am a bit late. So innovation fair, basically this master has 3 pillars. The first pillar, just talking about you, it's about teaching module, the third part module, where you can learn about academic skills. And the second pillar, I will talking in a few seconds, it will be field trips, where you can meet professional and you can gain professional skills, industry skills. And the third pillar, it's about innovation fair. You have to apply the 2 first pillars. So you have to apply what you learn in academic skills, and you have to apply what you learn during your field trip. If you have we were able to run a field trip before the innovation fair, which is not the case at that time. So in the innovation fair, it's a class project. You have to work with your classmates, and you have to decide everything about the perimeter. You have to decide if you want to create an ambitious project or not. Of course, you have some guidance. Of course, you have some instruction. But in a way, this is the best way for you to acquire the soft skills, communication skills, time management, working with different with people with different nationalities. So it's cultural. So it's learn and apply straight what you learn 1 week before. If we can move to field trip, Laurie, please. Laurie, merci. Okay, so field trip, basically it's international city. It's to be able to meet alumni, it's to be able to meet startup, it's to be able to meet ecosystem dedicated about hospitality. We can see the new trends in hospitality. we can have the opportunity to visit company dedicated to hospitality, but not directly to hospitality. So I will give you an example of the field trip. If we can move to the next slide, Laurie, please. Okay, so that's what we were able to do. It will be a field trip based on Berlin for the first part of the week and Paris for the second part of the week. It was in November 2019 because after COVID arrived. So we visited the food delivery company Delivery Hero, very famous. The company started in 2011 and today there are 28 brands and 22,000 employees. It's just incredible. We visited N26, it's an online banking, because I do believe that if you want to innovate in hospitality industry, you can copy paste or you can try to replicate the best practices you can learn in other industry, and especially online on fintech or other industry dedicated on digitalization. We visited in Paris Akram restaurant, which is a 5-star, 3-star Michelin hotel, not 3-star, 2-star Michelin hotel. We visited a family group. We visited Airbnb France. We visited a company dedicated about virtual reality apply for hospitality industry with virtual real business. And we had the opportunity to have this year a field trip in Switzerland. Maybe Shahab, you can say a couple of words at the end of the session. But in 4 days, we visited 14 companies. So it was intensive, but it was really rich, and students love it. So I think I'm on time. If you can move to the next slide. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Marie-France. Very briefly, before we move on to career and internship with Jacquie, just to give you a quick update. So we are living in an unpredictable world. We can say that at the moment. So obviously, we really hope to have all of our students back on campus in September, but we had to adapt. And so if you're interested in starting this master next September, if for any reason you couldn't make it to the campus, we offer flexible studies. So it's really a mix. You can either do your full semester on campus. If you can't travel at the beginning, you can start remotely and join us later. Or if for any reason you couldn't come at all during the semester, that's fine as well. So that's just a quick update on flexible learning. And now I will hand over to Jacquie for career and internship.
Great. So time to talk a little bit about career and internship. I know that Marie-France has given you plenty of information, and it all sounds extremely exciting, the program, but there comes a time in the program where you have to think about what you're going to do afterwards. And I think that's where our two young gentlemen here, Nikolai and Shahab, are at right now, is that after phase. So how do we get you from the depths of your program, your exciting program, to think about more where you're going? So you will be, as a master's student at Glion, guided right from day one, practically from the first semester, by one of the members of our team at the Internship and Career Department. In fact, our most experienced advisor is completely dedicated to only taking care of the master's students. Why is that? That is because master's students are career changers. In many cases, they have diverse backgrounds, they have diverse goals, and they're a little bit more mature than maybe our bachelor students, and they're all very different, and they have all very different outlooks and goals. So what we will do with our master's students right from the beginning is to give this extremely personalized guidance and service. Okay, so we will help you to first of all get your CV to that very high professional level. I think Marie-France was already talking about a master's degree taking you one step higher, and this is what we aim to do both for your CV and your motivation letter. Knowing that employers have very little time to look at these documents, we want them to be really perfect and really individualized and talking to your employer, not just a document churned out like that. So we take a lot of care to get you your CV and your motivation letter looking really polished and professional, so that they will be the most effective for you when you are applying for positions. I think we can move to the next slide, Laurie. Okay, so currently, and I know Marie-France has also referred to the situation currently, which is very disruptive and disrupted, and we all have to adapt to that. And we have also had to adapt to that in how we teach. Laurie has also mentioned that, you know, our students are not all on campus, and that is fine. It works. We've tested it. We have moved very much to an online focus for many of our services. That applies also to Career and Internship, where your personalized support will be also delivered on campus if you happen to be here and if you wish. We have an open door policy in the office. We accept students provided everyone is wearing the appropriate protective equipment, the mask, and we keep the social distancing. But it's also possible to have a 10, 20, 15, half an hour appointment with your advisor online. Really easy to book an appointment for your bespoke career counseling. We will also explain to you how to do the best interviews online, the techniques to use that may be different from face-to-face, etc. So as I say, right from the beginning, we will take you by the hand and guide you in our presentations, which also are now all online and recorded and then put onto the Moodle platform, so they will be available to you throughout the system. We also have our Career and Internship portal, which is an online database of, first of all our employer contacts. We currently have around 4,500 contacts on there. They won't all necessarily be appropriate for you, but this is they are for all the students in the school, and you will find some that are more appropriate for you than others. So around about 4,500 contacts with all the details which are available to you. And these contacts are posting opportunities, internship opportunities, also job opportunities for graduating students. Also, your CV will be there. So one good feature about this is that employers can type in a few keywords and some appropriate CVs will come out as being selected by the database to suit the criteria that he has chosen. So you have that possibility of being selected as well by employers via this portal. So 3 interfaces: student, employer, and school. This is a great way to connect with people in the industry. What else do? We have an online recruitment day. Our next online recruitment day is coming up on the 27th of April, so in just 2 weeks time, in fact, 2 weeks today, we will be in our fair. It will last 12 hours. It will run from 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening. Reason being, again, many of our students are connecting remotely from different parts of the world. We want to give everyone the opportunity through the different time zones to connect to I think we currently have 89 employers registered to attend that day. They will all have their own booth. You, as a student, would be able to go in and meet them on the day, chat with them, have video conversations, so you can be online as we are now, asking questions, networking, showing your CV, applying for positions, and generally creating your network, which again is something that is very, very important in the current time, and particularly in entrepreneurship as well, to have that great network out there that you can connect to and link with when necessary. We move on. Thank you, Laurie. So I've already basically given you a few pointers about the Career and Internship portal. This is what it looks like. It is available to you on your desktop, on your laptop, and also in the form of an app. And very handy to be able to punch in your own criteria of what you're looking for, and maybe on your mobile phone get what do they call it, push notifications, that's what they're called, that your job or ideal company has posted a job that might suit your criteria, that your ideal job has come up, that something that you are looking for is out there. At that point, you just have to go in as you would to any other app and press apply, and your CV approved by the department, I would say, by your internship advisor, because we don't let anything go through. We understand that, you know, mistakes can happen. All CVs need a final cross-check from someone else, maybe some advice on how to reset things, resay things. Yeah, so we will give you an objective view on that, and your CV, once it is on the portal, it is pre-approved by the department, all ready to apply to any job that comes up. So you could be on the train, getting up in the morning, at the weekend, see that your dream job has come up, and be able to just apply without having to go onto your computer or anything, which is really quite handy. Thank you, Laurie. So looking at internship in general for the school, this is all programs combined for 2019. I think you can see the number of company visits we had on campus that year is over 250. That is companies coming onto the campus. That also includes our London campus and mainly consists of our 2 recruitment events. When I talk to you about the online event, we've had to, and I said we had to adapt, as you will have to adapt. It used to be face-to-face. Will we go back to face-to-face? I don't know, that remains to be seen. We'd like to, maybe we'll have some kind of hybrid. Again, we have to be very innovative and listen to the industry, listen to what's going on, reactive as well, which is what you're going to have to be in your careers as well. So, you know, we're all on the same regime here. We're all having to be reactive. Our event used to be 100% face-to-face. We had up to 100 companies on campus, all students attending on our Bulle campus for one day. Now it's moved to online, but in 2019 it was all face-to-face. In that year, we had up to over 6,700 offers, internship offers offered to students, proposed to students enrolled on the portal. What that works out at something like 7.7 per student. Now, I'm not saying that every student will have 7.7 offers, because again, they will not all be suitable for everyone. So you have to take this with a little bit of perspective. But you can see we had in that year, again, 2019, 876 students out on internship in 58 different countries. So I think that also shows the international perspective of the internship program and the part of that program of the masters. I'm sure you're all interested to know what kind of opportunities are out there for master's students once you've completed the course here. And we've put together a few examples per industry sector. Okay, so we have some, as you probably know, we have 4 masters here on the Glion campus or in Glion. One specifically hospitality, one luxury retail, one the one you're possibly more interested in, which is the entrepreneurship, but also one related to finance and real estate. So for each sector, we have put together some actual examples of where our students have been, and it's interesting to look at where these students are going. So in hospitality, you can see these might be assistant manager, entry-level positions, or in operations, or in other back office positions, all again depending on the individual experience of the student. Again, this is where it's very important to be connected to your advisor, who will be able to advise you. The more you see her, the better she can advise you. Applying to positions will be very much dependent on your background, on the transferable skills that you already have from previous studies, and on what you're learning here in Glion. So in luxury retail, for example, very much it will be to do with client relations, brand ambassador, for example, client experience specialist, merchandising. If we can move to the next slide, Laurie, which will show you more about the program we're talking about today, the innovation program. And I think Marie-France has already given us some indication, self-starters, business development.
But, I mean, these two gentlemen can explain briefly the internships they find, thanks to you, thanks to incredible efficient department, thanks
Absolutely.
to you, they found 2 internships. So maybe they
Absolutely.
can.
Well, since you bring it up at this point, let's have them explain then. Nikolai, perhaps you'd like to go ahead and talk about your internship.
Can you hear me now? Is the microphone working?
Yes, we can hear you. It's amazing.
Perfect. So yeah, I have to be very thankful to the internship department actually, because as she mentioned, you have all the tools that you need and even more. So you have the application, you have the internship days and everything. And currently I have been actually very fortunate not to have an internship, but an actual job. And most of it is thanks to the connections I've made in Glion and through these platforms, and yeah, everything really, what they've taught me and helped me. My CV, I have to say, it's close to flawless because of my advisor. I sent her a raw document and she returned me all the notes and everything that needed to be corrected. And then after a day or two, we organized a meeting and it was done. And then I could send it. It was approved. And then I started linking with all the different employers.
Nick,
And we're very demanding, right?
What's your job? What is your job today, thanks to the Jacquie department? What is your job at Kempinski?
F&B supervisor in the Kempinski Hotel in Malta.
And,
great. Supervisor role, which will obviously, and I think this is the beauty of the Glion degree, and perhaps specifically the master's degree, is that you will start as a supervisor, but your career progression will be rapid. And I think this is what we see in terms of the possibilities and the potential of having with a Glion degree. And I think it's very important what you brought up here, the point that you have a job, not an internship per se. The internship can be also a management training program. It can be a job position, and we will count the first 6 months as the internship component. Okay,
and Shahab, what about your internships thanks to Jacquie department? You get about food detective startup?
Absolutely, yeah. I got the job actually through through the Glion portal, and it was exactly on the career day. And I went online and I saw the food detective company and I applied. And after just 1 month of interviews, I got the position. And I currently work in the sales and partnership department. And most of my job is basically contacting different companies in the F&B sector and contacting even like large corporations such as SV Group in Switzerland. And I've been really fortunate to have this job in this situation, and it's all thanks to the Glion Career Internship department.
Well, thank you, Shabab, for that very compliments. So,
one startup and one traditional company.
Yeah, so that's great. And Food Detective is actually a great company and founded, I believe, by Glion alumnus.
Yes, actually, a lot of the people who work in Food Detective are Glion alumni.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a very Glion-based company and very dynamic and forward-moving. And I have to say that in this time where we've seen a lot of startups collapse because they haven't necessarily had the the good fortune or maybe the skills to keep running and the possibility to innovate and the ideas and the creativity to counter this very difficult time. Food Detective is one that, and I'm proud to say it's very, a lot of Glion students, ex-students working there. Hopefully that is one of the reasons it has managed to survive. And I think that says a lot for the mentality and the resilience of our students and their creativity. So great news for Food Detective, and I wish you all the best with your job there.
Thank you very much.
Finally, I think you can see the finance opportunities. You think you've had a chance to see that now, and I think we've come to the end of the presentation. Am I right? Finally, the last slide. So I think from what we've said and from what you've heard from our students, you will understand that, and we're very proud of our 98% employability rate. So 98% of job-seeking students or students who are seeking employment at the end of their program in Glion have one or more employment opportunities. This was obviously for 2019, I hasten to add, and several years preceding it. I wouldn't necessarily say that this should be taken for granted for 2020. Right now, we know that 2020 was a difficult year, but in 2020, we did see our employer reputation increase to number 2 in the QS World Ranking Survey. And I think that is a great reflection of how our students and our alumni are perceived by the industry. So I think everything is on our side so that you can succeed. And while we're looking at job examples, let's look at some of the alumni examples where our students are now. And I think if we can look into maybe at the innovation specifically, because this is obviously what you're particularly interested today. We have senior project manager, again, that project and those business development opportunities. This is what you're trained for here at Glion in this program. This is where the opportunities for you will be. And I think even more than ever, and as Marie-France said, innovation so important now. In order to survive in the current climate, you have to stand out, you have to be different, you have to be determined and resilient and be creative, and those techniques and that capacity to develop your business is going to be extremely important. So a couple of our alumni there in SpotMe, which is a recent startup as well, and Flume. I'm not familiar with Flume, but one of our students is there in London and obviously doing a great job there.
Thank you, Jacquie. Thank you, Marie-France. Thank you to our alumni. So I won't go through the admission procedure today. We've talked a lot already, and I want to leave some time for the Q&A. You have the entry requirement on your screen. If you're not already in touch with a counselor, I recommend you fill a contact form on our website, and then you will get more information regarding the admission process. Okay, so let's move on to the Q&A. The first question is from Sanket. So hello, I'm from India. Hospitality is very fascinating for me, and I wish to build a luxury hospitality business from scratch. Would you recommend this program? Maybe we can take this, or Jacquie.
If you want to create a luxury program, I mean, if like any business, luxury program is like any business. So you need to know how to create a business in itself. So you need to know better what about your customer target. You need to know what about your value proposition. You need to know more about the new demands. You know, you have to know that in fact there is a new growing middle class anywhere. You need to have a new demands from millennials. So this those gentlemen can testimonial. So at some point, at least in the master in innovation and creativity in entrepreneurship, you can learn how to create a business, and then you can put the DNA of your business. It could be luxury, it could be a startup, it could be dedicated to a silver economy or whatever, or meditation. So it's pretty much the same design. You need to create a business, you need to find a good idea, you need to validate, you need to find your market, you need to create a business model, a business plan, you need to have a scorecard, and then you need to expand your business and you have to manage. But all the steps are the same.
I would totally agree with that, Marie-France.
Thank you. Next question, if you want.
So now question for our students, alumni /alumni. How was the life on campus, if you were on campus during the pandemic? Because I believe you've done your master through the whole, the hardest time of the pandemic.
Were you on campus?
We actually were both on campus.
Okay, so can you tell us more about the student life, because you were studying mostly remotely?
You can talk about Jaman if you want, guys.
Oh, I'd rather not. No, for me, I was actually quite fortunate to study both on campus, and then when COVID hit, we had to move home. So I got to experience both of what Glion is capable of. So the life on campus for me was something that I've never seen before. Like, I've been into a university in the UK, which was you would say your average university, so it was nothing too special. But as soon as I arrived in Glion, I realized that my life is going to be changed. You enter a very luxurious place, if we can put it this way, and you instantly feel the atmosphere. You want to be a successful person there, if I can put it this way. The campus itself provides you with everything you need. You have at least 3 F&B outlets, so you have plenty of options to go and eat. One of them even is a very healthy option, which I find is pretty cool. You have a big gym, you have a big playing field. There is options for you to go swimming if you want in a nearby pool. Of course, you have Verbier just about 40 minutes or so from campus, so you can go skiing during the weekend, which I think is really cool thing to have in university. And of course, you have Montreux. Well, in terms of the Glion campus, which I was based in, you have Montreux, which is a relatively large town, or a small city, if we can put it this way, which offers everything you need. So life on campus was pretty good, if I have to say.
Shahab, you want to say something more? No.
Well, Nick actually said everything that there is in the student life, but then you have to think also that if you go on the master program with Marie-France for the entrepreneurship, on the campus life, you will be next to the most professional people that are coming from the sectors. So every day that you wake up and you go to your classes, you will be seeing actual professionals and not people who just teach theory. They actually give you a real life example and what's going to happen once you enter the world of actual business. And that was one of the most special things for me. And you get so many contacts out of it. And it will help you a lot through the years that's going to come.
Thank you. Next question from Sisi. So she would like to know if it's better to have some work experience to study this master program.
Guys, if you want to say something.
Hello, Sisi. Thank you for the question. I can speak with someone who had, as I said, 6 years of experience prior to my master's. Yes, it did help me a little bit because of the hospitality aspect. However, I can say for sure, and I've seen it because I had people like this in my class that came from a completely different industry, and they didn't really need so much of the experience. What I like about this course is just not your general hospitality course. It just doesn't teach you hotel operations or F&B or whatever. Yes, you go through it. However, most of the things you learn, you learn them from scratch. You're going to open your business from scratch, so you need to learn from scratch as well, which in that essence doesn't really require previous experience. I think, of course, it always helps because it's going to make you feel more confident in some situation, but I can assure you 100% that the people in Glion are going to give you the tools to be as confident as possible.
And Shahab, you don't have any experience prior to join the program, right?
No, prior to join the program, I didn't have any experience, and just basically this master is like a experience to get a job. Like if you want to get a job, master will help you get the position. Or if you want to open a business, you come with an idea and you basically build the idea completely, and then you start the business afterwards.
I think, if I may add, it's a master that really encompasses everyone, so you will get different things out of it if you have already some experience, but it doesn't mean that you won't get as much out of it if you have no experience. And I think that's why, you know, we have two complete opposites here. One, Nikolai, who has 6 years, if I understand correctly, experience, who is getting as much out of the curriculum as Shabab, who has no experience in hospitality or in professional experience. So I think, you know, it's for everybody, and everybody will get something out of it.
And to finish, guys, you can say a couple of words about your project, because you decide to create your own company together, Shahab and Nick. So just to close this session, you can say that in parallel or simultaneously of your current job, you are working on your startup together.
Yes, that's true. And as I said, when I first came to Glion, I had no aspirations of opening my own business or anything like that. But throughout the curriculum, I actually got really inspired. And then I was lucky enough to meet Shahab as well, who has the very similar mindset to mine. And yeah, for the past year or so, whilst maintaining a full-time position and trying to graduate from Glion, which I did successfully, we actually are not in the final stages, but in the fundraising stages of opening our own business with 2 new ideas, 2 applications that hopefully are gonna transform and help the hospitality world and entrepreneurs as they are. Maybe Shahab wants to tell you a little bit more about them.
Absolutely. I apologize for my camera. We are currently working on 2 applications. The first one is pretty much finished, which will be for the F&B sector, a new payment method, which is in the industry, they say pay at the table. However, with the current situation that is going on with the COVID-19, there are a lot of problems that we're facing, which are because of the restaurant closures. And it is a bit hard for fundraising for a project like this right now. So we have changed our mindset. We created a new idea and a new application, and which is more into social networking for B2Bs and fundraising for startups. We actually finished the UI design and the interface of the application and a prototype, and hopefully in 6 months we'll be testing the beta version and going online in about 1 year.
And I think this application will help all of you students who sign up for this course to eventually find the fundraising that you need, which is what we're struggling at the moment. So that's why we want to help everyone else, and hopefully it will work.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
And once we open, we'll be coming to Glion for
To
internship.
recruit.
Excellent.
And you wouldn't be the first to do that.
It's a
No,
look
absolutely no. It'll be a long line.
and then guys, I will be happy to welcome on board as a faculty body. You will teach in the program.
We can't wait.
Amazing.
Huge honor.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Marie-France, Nikolai, Shahab, Jacquie. It was very inspiring. It made me want to study this master. This is the end of this session. Unfortunately, we don't want to keep you any longer. Thank you for joining the session today. I hope it helped you, make your mind or give you more information. The recording of the session will be available shortly on our YouTube account if you want to watch it again. And as I mentioned, we are happy to answer your question later on via the contact form on the website. I wish you all a lovely afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you, everyone, and bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Very much.
Bye-bye.
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 Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Laurie.
Bye bye.
Bye, Marie-France.